What I'm going to show you is basically just how to take the factory LEDs out and to replace them with a color changing LED that is going to function the same exact way. So let's just start this by, I'm going to remove these screws eventually. I didn't want to touch this thing and get it all printy, but I guess it doesn't matter. So anyway, so I got 3 screws that I need to take out. And then you'll see these factory LEDs, and they're so little. They're just tiny little guys. This is what I am going to make available. Ooh, let's try this new button. Bow! Did that work? Did it do it? Oh, it didn't. I was supposed to push a button and it was going to do cool stuff, but it didn't actually work. Wah, wah, wah. Anyway, this is the kind of stuff that I'm going to be live streaming only to the online course group. And so I want you to kind of get the feel for it. But long story short, I'll pop this out and show you. This is an acrylic tube, and this is the LED that points down that acrylic tube, right? So see how it just kind of fits right in nice there? And so when this thing pumps out the white LED from this guy, it goes down, it catches all those little slits, and they kind of pick up that light output. So if you can imagine, this is a white LED. If I change that LED to this big honkin' RGB one, it's gonna do better things, right? It's gonna look different, but it's gonna function the exact same way. So let's remove the factory LEDs and get our hands on this little bracket. This is a GTR Masterclass right here. And I'm just using it as a good excuse to practice live streaming with all the silly new gadgets that I got. I need to get multiple new webcams and just have them set up all throughout the shop for the streaming channel. So let's see. Use some pliers. I'm going to pop this guy out. Alright, because all I want is this piece. And now you probably have multiple different ways of doing this. I have a better way since I've got the ultrasonic cutter here. Audio is going to go weird as this thing vibrates really hardcore. How's that sound in your ears? Hopefully not too terrible. Anyway, I'm going to make some cuts in this little bracket so that after I change up the LEDs, it is going to turn a lightning bolt many colors. And this is for my boy DJ Boom. DJ Boom, I hope you're watching. I got some demon eyes for his headlights, and they're all ready to go, but I need to finish up his color changing lightning bolts. So that's what we're doing. I have to do this on lots of sets of lights. So somebody asked how many GTR lights I've done. A lot. And I got to do a whole lot more before I'm off the hook. So I'm just slicing down this little bracket. The reason I'm doing this is so that the new LED lays flat. For example, there's a little post right there. I don't want that post there because that's right where the LED board needs to sit. Got it? Get that guy out of the way. If you don't know, this is an ultrasonic cutter. It acts basically as a razor blade that vibrates super fast. And this is a $400 one, which, believe it or not, is the crappy one. I should be using the $1,500 Honda ultrasonic cutter, but I don't got it, so I gotta buy it. And until I send an invoice off for a new Lamborghini job, I'm not gonna have it. But I will. That'll be awesome. Here's the idea. This is where the LED needs to sit, and so I need to fix it to this position. Now the nice thing is that hole that comes factory, well, not factory, but it comes already in place on this particular little demon eye. That is already pretty close to where I want it. Who's following me so far? Switch scenes so I can look you in the face. You guys following? You get it? You see it? Let me answer some questions real quick. I'm going to do this. I'm going to teach a little bit, and then I'm going to hop in and do some questions. Jason says, so this is for the standard RGB setup. What about doing more sequential setup? Can they be used in combo? They absolutely can, and I will show you why in a second here. Gordon Clark says, yup, Psych Design. Chris, what do you recommend for mounting projectors in non-projector housings? Simple ones that you can mount fast. Like if it's a mini H1, then do that, because in the time it takes you to mount that mini H1, you're going to get this killer light output. It might not be as good as some other hardcore extremist retrofit projectors, but it'll be 80 or 90% as good, and that's a crap ton better than what you had. And it's going to look cool because you can do demon eyes and angel eyes and all the trim and all the different shrouds and all that. So I say don't try to do crazy hard stuff. Just take it easy. And personally, I recommend, if you're going to be trying to make money doing this, do not do retrofits. It's a very time-consuming, very easy-to-do wrong job, and the profit that you make by doing some simple stuff is going to go way further than that. However, I do want to talk about some retrofit stuff coming up soon, so I will. It'll be tight. It'll be a good time. Other questions. Brian Lowe says, tuning in for my job, told them when I got good at building lights, I'm leaving. They laughed at me. I mean, here's the question, Brian. Do you got good benefits? Because if you do, you should definitely keep those benefits, do the side hustle making money doing lights, and be chilling. The other thing I think, and a big reason why I'm doing the online course, is that I think people should keep their job and do this as a side hustle. Or they should do this as a side hustle, get that extra money that they have coming in that they can count on, and then get the job they really want. Because then if you've got like a job but you want a better one, but you're afraid of going out on a limb and like trying to get that job and blah, 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 you got income coming in the meantime. So you don't got to take crap. If you got a terrible job, find a better one. Find a job, even if it's the same type of job, you don't care either way, but one's got better benefits, and you got your side hustle. That's what's going to make that transition possible for you. So I want people to squeeze the best out of this whole custom lighting thing, and I don't know, have it help their life. That's what it should be. Help me, bought a house, it was tight. But I don't think people should go full-time. I really don't. I really, really don't. So, and then, of course, Psych Design says, not looking to make money, just want something personal and cool looking than the stock ones for my Mark IV Golf. So, exactly the other guy that I'm talking to. The guy that just wants to do cool stuff. That's what this video is for. This is for the guy that just wants to be able to do cool stuff for the GTR. And so he wants to put color-changing lightning bolts in there. Or just about any other car that comes factory, like a lot of Mercedes come factory with these kind of parts in there. So this is what we're going to do. I am going to bust out the Dremel, and I'm going to, where did I put that? I'm going to change the blade on this thing so that I can get in and, where is that? Probably should have changed scenes so that you weren't looking. Now you can see me looking around for things. But yeah, I'm going to change the blade on this Dremel, and then I'm going to open up that hole that I created so that it bolts right into place, and then I'll be done with half of that lightning bolt setup for one of DJ Boom's headlights. Yeah, buddy. Sorry about the noise. It's getting loud. So what I want to do, I'm going to take that little hole and extend it just a wee bit. Oh. I showed you, I should have showed you. I want to extend that hole a wee bit. And it needs to go down. Let's go down. I would do this over there, but... Got him? Cool. Sorry about that. Like many things, this was not very well planned out. But I'm doing it anyway, because I'm not worried. So I just drilled my little extension, stick a screw in here, tighten her up, and I'm done with the first one. Just gonna add a little piece of tape to it. Booyah. Check that out. That's so crazy, right? Like, look how straight up that is. Ready to go. Next one's going to be a little bit more difficult, but let me just show you how one little thing like that, I just barely modified anything. Where's my skizzers? I don't know. Alright, we're fancy. So, I want this. What do I want this to tape up? I guess I don't really need to tape this particular one, but I will anyway. Taper down. This isn't really doing anything besides putting a little bit of extra help where that flex is. So let's take a look and see if... let's see. Is that where it's going to go? Yeah, that's a good spot. So I'll actually add a little bit more tape to it. Turn this on in a second. Let's do the top one really quick. For that, we need our ultrasonic cutter again. Just going to slice off that little dude just like the last one was. Wouldn't it be great if I slip and cut and there's blood and spurting out and everybody's watching live? It's like, oh God. Alright. And then also this top section right here. I don't need that. It's going to get in the way. And that's why it's got to go. So if you can imagine, you can use a grinding tool. You can use all kinds of stuff instead of an ultrasonic cutter. It's kind of nice to just hold this thing. This tool itself is, I think it's listed in my Amazon store. It might not be. It's called a Z something. I don't know. The box is over there. I'll show you just because it's interesting. This is made for doing those cool little Japanese models like Gundam and like little car models and stuff like that. Not car models, like car models you guys like. Let me show you. This is the Z041. Lots of Japanese stuff. Got him. And the little parts for this thing are pretty expensive. So expensive. Alright, here's the cool question I was asked just a bit ago. Alright, so the question was, can I do sequential stuff and this color changing stuff? And here's the beautiful answer. Yeah, because I got a part made that fits beautiful. And it goes into place right here. And then if you can see, that little acrylic piece is under it. So you got to be willing to make things work. Basically, all that happens is we make a couple changes to this bad boy here. And one of those changes is that I don't want your laugh. I don't want this little panel or this little thing anymore. So off it goes. I also don't want this little tab here because now there's a circuit board in its way. So off it goes. And last, we've got one little piece here. And off it goes. So check it out. I just did a couple very light little changes. I'm going to pop this guy out because it's not soldered on yet. But that's what connects all the sequential. So all of those are individual little pins for the sequential. And when I'm ready, I'm going to take a template. This is for the other side, but essentially it'll look just like this. And I'll lay it on here. I'll see exactly where to cut out that square and that square. And then that is going to give me where the wires leave and that little part that I just popped off. But for the sake of just showing you stuff, I will jump back into questions in a second here. That's all we needed to do. So to get this into place, I'll start it, get it pushed in there, and then I'll push it into place with this LED board under it. And now the only change that has to be made is I'll heat that little section up right here. Oh, you can't even see. My bad. I'll heat up that little section right there and make it a little bit straighter so that when I put the final cover on top of all of this, that it's going to hold everything down into place and be perfect. And it will look just like that. And then our RGB is going to be shooting into there, and it's going to be shooting into there. All right? So let's keep on moving. And we actually have to get to the part that really kind of sucks, I think, after this. But so we modified this. I'm going to bend that thing down, and I'm actually going to tape everything into place so that it stays nice and secure here. But in order for me to make that hole right exactly where it needs to be, all I'm going to do is make a little mark right on there with something pokey. So I've got this little pick. Make a mark. Looks good. And so now I'm going to drill a hole in said mark. Got her. Next thing is I'm going to drill a screw through that. I actually don't usually do it this way, but for the sake of finishing this video, I have these little locking, I don't know if that's them. Nah. I got these other little guys that I use for that, but let's just get her done for the video. Do it for the tubes. And we're going to put that guy in there. Then I am going to screw in place. Get in there. Alright. So get the idea. It's being held in place like it's supposed to. And then I want to put just this little piece of tape around here. Make sure that it's not pivoting or doing anything weird. It's ridiculous how much of this stuff is super practical. And it just looks like it's crazy difficult or something. So, alright, we've got our two demon eyes set up. I want to cut the lengths. I'm going to show you exactly how I go about this now. Yeah, that's the wrong one. MacBook. Let's do more questions. So what's up, guys? You following along? Do you get how this is gonna happen? Chris, it's in your listing for what? 409.27? What? I don't know what's happening. I hopped into conversation completely, not knowing what's going on. Chris, what do you recommend? Mounting projectors, blah, blah, blah. Got that one. All right. Well, how about this? I don't know where I'm at, so I'm going to start with Vincent. You said the 409.27, and it's yours, Paul. Jason, I totally get it. I was wondering how you got the RGB on top of the PCB. Good. Glad I answered that for you. All right, check the description, go to tools. Cool, you guys are awesome. All right, I'm going to jump back into it. Kenny T does say, how do you suggest to promote a side hustle lighting business? Ooh, I'm so glad you asked. That's in the free course that's coming up. So as I kind of like roll out more of the content in the free course, a lot of that stuff's going to be answered. And so what will happen is I'm going to take that free course, duplicate it, pull that over into the academy, and then I'm going to have just that little standalone part of the free course is going to be available for people to actually buy. So they'll be able to pay like $50 for that as a standalone part of my overall digital goods offerings, all that good stuff. And so that's why we'll dive into certain parts of that, such as marketing and Instagram and all that stuff. But to be honest with you, as you go through, I step you right through it and say, like, take pictures as you go, build a big library, get that in front of lots of people, specialize in one car, and you're going to build up a following because you're specialized. If you try to do, hey, I want to do 350Z, and then I want to do IS350, and now I want to do a 90-something GTR, or something, like just all over the place, like you're not going to catch any traction. So you'll learn a lot, and it'll suck, and you'll fail a ton, and that's a better teacher than me. But yeah, I'd rather just jump right into making money and kind of bypass some of that. So here's what we're gonna do. Oh, shop. I'm learning. All right, so we're gonna change the length. However stuff comes, you know, right out of the box, kind of doesn't matter much to me. Oh, damn it, I lost a tiny little resistor. Here it is. I would solder that up right now, but it's not important. Okay, so we want to put these things back into place where they belong, and then I'm going to use that to figure out how long I want my wires to be. And then I'm going to cut those wires. This right here is the value of this whole video. It's don't use the wires you were given. Use the amount of wiring that you need. I'll say that again. Don't just use what comes out of the box on the parts. That's a generic, hopefully it fits as many things as possible amount of wire. And that's for the manufacturer's sake, not yours. So, in this case, I know that the way that I hook up the drivers on this particular build, I only need the connectors to be like right around here. So I don't need all this freaking RGB wire right there. That's like a universal thing. I don't want all that. I want it to stop literally like right around here. So we're gonna use the OG strippers. So I'm just gonna cut that, and then I'm gonna come down here and decide how long I want that to be. That looks goodish. There we go. That's how you void a warranty or something, I don't know. But this is all that I wanted. I don't want to have all that extra wire because, look at that. Imagine if you have 7 different parts with that much wire in there and it's all piled up in the back of the light. I have a set of WRX lights. Somebody did a wonderful job building. Oh, they're over there. And they left all that wire, and it's terrible. It makes it look like they suck at what they do, even though the build is beautiful. But it's such a rat nest of wires in the back of the light. You know, the issue is that it takes more time to do it this way. Like, I'm taking moments that seem like they're taking away from me right now. But when I'm done, there's nothing to figure out. It's literally just a plug on the bottom of the light. It works. So, why this sucks though is like stripping wires and doing all this stuff. It just takes forever. And that's not always what people want to do. Actually, where's my fast strippers? Where's those fast ones? Looking for strippers. Where'd I put my stripper? Ooh, there you go. Nice. Ooh, coffee too. Thanks. How to work with coffee. Okay. So I could do this and strip these wires one by one, like so. That's kind of annoying. So I can just grab these, and there's better versions of these for sure. But look at that, 5X. I'm getting stuff done now. Oh, and I'm running over connectors. Alright, so now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing. Now, ideally, you're supposed to do this. I don't know why I hooked those up. You're supposed to do this while everything's still disconnected, because working with parts, you'll scratch them, you'll mess them up. So, I guess I just got ahead of myself. I'm so excited about showing you guys this stuff. So what I'm going to do is remove all of this shielding because it's not helping me at this point. I'm not hiding it from anybody. I'm going to have a nice short little wire here. And that's it. Alright, and while I'm doing boring stuff, I'm going to look up at questions again. So what's happening? Jesus. So you don't, what'd you say? You don't need everything Morimoto sends for their quad. No, you don't need anything anybody sends. Like, honestly, they don't know. They just sent stuff out and they give general guidelines. And I mean, so this is mainly what I want to get rid of. Anything that could have little pieces like this that like fall out, you don't want that, because if there's a chance that it could fall out into place and land right in the middle of somewhere where you can see it, I mean, very likely that that's going to happen. So you guys saw how much wire I just pulled off, but here's the beautiful part. So this sucks because I am doing all this extra work. I get you on that. I feel for you. It is not fun. But when you're done and you start assembling everything, the lack of all that bullshit wire everywhere just saves so much time. Here's another way to be frugal. Oh my god, I'm going to go crazy if I don't have my scissors. I'm going to cut these in half with the scissors. I lost my strippers. I lost my scissors. This is why it's good to have duplicates of all your tools. not be a bozo like me. Jeez. I have no idea where those things went. Alright, we are not using scissors. That would be way too efficient. So, let's just chop them in half with the crimpers. Point was that one of these tubes, I buy these in packs, I think of 400, and I just blow through these things. But look at all the time it's taken just for me to do all of this stuff. I hope you understand when I tell you that the things that you should focus on are the low time consumption things. Unless you just want to learn. If you just want to do cool stuff, for sure, by all means, solder all day. Back in the day, I used to charge $5 per electrical connection that had to be made. So, this would be 5 of those. 5 electrical connections, meaning I cut, strip, heat shrink, solder, all that good stuff on 5 connections, which would make what I am doing right now a $25 job for this one demon eye. I don't care how much a demon eye costs. I don't care what the guy down the street charges. I'm super not interested in all of the little things that people want to ask or complain about. I just know that when it's all done, jobs like this, even making $25 for soldering 5 wires together and doing it a different way than they teach you in the guides or the schools or whatever, it's about time and efficiency and knowing that this is how all these connections always work. It goes well, and it's going to be a better project because of it. Because I can't let down my boy DJ Boom. I just can't. Got to do a good job for him. So that's it. This is how I used to make $25. I don't recommend it. There's such better ways. Most of the switchback products have 3 wires. You know, all of the RGB wires are going to be a minimum of 4. This is an RGBW wire, and I don't even use the W. But here's the silly thing. If you're going to use RGBW, the fact that the wire is white does not mean that that function of the part is the white LED. It's like they just do it to humor you or something. Here's the next thing too. As you're soldering, you can use lead-free solder, which takes forever. You can use bad solder that's got lead in it. It's bad. It's fast and spreads super freaking easy. I have a fan I turn on when I'm doing hardcore soldering, which you should have. You're also not even supposed to touch the lead solder and then not wash your hands and do other stuff. So basically everything that I am into is illegal and bad for my health. Sweet. And not illegal like I'm hurting anybody, but people are like, you can't drive around with red lights on. No kidding. So you turn them off until you want to show off. And I don't care what country you're from. If you've got stuff that's hiding, it's kind of like, you can't drive 200 miles an hour, so you can't drive that car because it goes 200 miles an hour. It's like, no, you just don't go 200. Just drive the speed limit. Can't use blue lights? Don't use them. Use the white ones that are street legal. You don't have to use the blue ones. You have the option to, but that doesn't mean you should do it. Makes sense? I know I'm rambling, but this is what happens when you watch my live streams of me working. And this is what's going to be on Twitch, not on YouTube. It's going to hurt my audience retention because people are going to be like, dude, what is this guy talking about and doing? This is hurting my brain. I'm out of here. All right. I soldered 5 wires. It takes forever. And now, look at this cute little thing we've got here. It's a little cute RGB bolt, half of it. Right? So I'm halfway done with half of the effort here. Now, this is actually, I was dumb before because I didn't realize why I did something, and now I do. When I want to get the wire lengths down, I don't know why I'm holding all this stuff in here. I certainly don't need it. Alright. When I'm putting all this stuff in place, the reason I'm doing it the way that I am, Jesus, is I want to get the wire length down for both of them. And in order for me to do that, I need to know just about how long it's going to be This comes to here, and then I cut it right about there. Okay, that's where the cut goes. How am I doing? You guys still following along? Got 27 people watching. It just seems odd to me, because if 27 of you were in the room right now, that would be like a legit regular old classroom in high school. Don't you wish they taught this in high school? Alright. Here we go. I think, though, honestly, I'm probably going to have my headphones on half the time when I'm on Twitch. Like listening to audiobooks and stuff like that. So I can be learning while I'm streaming. I'll just try to read the old comments and leave it alone. Alright. I had music before. I should do that, huh? Need to work, Epidemic Sound. What's wrong with you? Making my stream terrible. Alright, sometimes it helps too if you're going to strip multiple wires at once. You're going to want to... Oh, no shit. You're going to want to not try to do 5 at once. I think the max I ever try to really strip is like 4 of them. But doing 3 at once is fine. Alright, so I've got that part. Now is where it gets annoying if I don't take it off of this bezel. So in reality, this is a part that cost me, all in all, maybe like the parts to do 2 different sets of these things. That might be $100 or something like that. And I was charging $500 for it. For the parts, the labor, warranty, all that good stuff. Truthfully, that's not enough. It's just not enough. Not if it's something that I'm going to be doing all the time, because you can see it's freaking time consuming. And if your business's health is based on how fast you can get things done, like, I don't know, DJ Boom's been waiting a long time for these lights. And other people are waiting even longer for their lights. And this is one of the multiple different steps needed to be taken so that I can have cool demon eyes and all that. And I know I'm rambling, but I'm not really being slower because I'm talking right now. Not really. If you were here in person, I would be, because I'd be trying to like entertain you and make sure that you're comfortable and you want a water. But, you know, good old internet doesn't need that. So here's the rest of my little stripped guys. That's it. All right. Who is... Now there's more of you. Missed the first half, but we'll see it later. Hope so. For sure. This one I'm not going to kill the stream. The one earlier, I actually just put it to unlisted. So if you got the email, you can watch the earlier one. I found out, I guess, that I could be streaming from my MacBook with OBS. And I could push a button and it will change the scene. Yeah, buddy! Like that. And I'm going to be doing a lot of this stuff. And I also have not locked in that Demon Eye job for this week. So I still need to do that. Mucho bad. I've got a guy with a Kia Optima. How would you guys feel about me doing a Kia Optima on the course, the free part of the online course, to show the Demon Eye install? He also wants me to get to do like LED strip and stuff. So I like, kind of the point of all this is that I don't want to show you the stuff in that course that doesn't make money. So messing with a bunch of LED strips and a bunch of other things that kind of take you down the rabbit hole of spending tons of time on one project, I don't want to do that. I want to show you how to open them up, shoot them black, bang out another set, get 10 sets under your belt. And somebody asked earlier about marketing a small side hustle. That's how you do it. Do one kind of car over and over and over again. Make sure you try to mix it up and get as many different colors of that car as you can. And as you're banging out all these different examples of that same headlight over and over again, slight different little variations, you're going to build a whole portfolio of work. If you take a ton of pictures and you have a bunch of pictures from the customers installed, shots that you took and video that you took as you built them, and stuff that just keeps rolling in because the people are stoked that you banged out their lights for, you know, $300-400, and they got a good quality build and they're sending you pictures and all that. Their buddy's a professional photographer. Now you got professional photos. Homeboy does all sorts of cinematic video stuff, and now you've got access to that. Like, that builds your portfolio right there. And if you consistently post that stuff once, twice, 3 times a day, not all at once of the same car, but just sprinkle it out there. And knowing all this stuff, it takes time to do it. So if you're like me and you're spread way too thin, you're not going to have the time to do that. Luckily, I got Kristen on it now, and she's posting up, mainly reposting photos that our customers have posted up or tagged us in. So I'm kind of training her on the social media side of things right now, and she's doing great. She's growing that Instagram channel, and I'm barely in there up until I knew I was about to get the LED bulbs, and now I'm going hard because I got to. Oh, damn. And just like that, boys and girls, we're out of time. So I got to finish this and turn it on, show you that it works. And I got to hit the road because it is that time. This is the time of day where I pretend that I'm like a normal dude working a 9 to 5, and I'm like, cool, it's time to go. I would work myself to the bone literally 7 days a week. I would work 365 days out of the year, and I would not slow down until my health made me do that. But I got a family, and they're better than this, so I got to get to that. So with the quickness, I'm going to turn this on, show you that it works, show you how special it all comes together like, and then I'm going to go home. So I am going to fly after this, so hit me with those questions that I haven't answered as I've been working and rambling. Got that one. My boy Richard is sending me some stuff. He's actually got a GTR. He was telling me about some streaming stuff that he was doing for a while, and he's going to be redoing some of his old stuff. Damn it, I lost the screw. Why? Why, cruel world? Let me get some screws. Alright, anyway, so Richard's going to send me some cool stuff. He's got a capture card for building into the actual PC instead of the one that I got, which I'm going to start streaming with my boy on some video game stuff so I can help him grow his YouTube channel. Check us out. We got 2 connections. It's going to be super easy to access these things. Get a little piece of tape just for the sake of doing this so I could turn it on, have it look halfway decent for you. And I can leave knowing I showed you the finished-ish thing before I transfer these onto a different part. So there's our setup. And this goes here. Kill the lights in a second. This is what the driver looks like on these ones. Okay, that's the driver. Just plugs right in. And I'm not going to cut and shorten these because I'm going to leave this thing in the housing. So this has 1 input and 2 outputs, which is glorious inside of an already packed GTR headlight that's got a sequential module and everything else. But you're seeing it here. So I know I have some of these modules that are already hooked up to a Bluetooth controller, but in this case I'm just going to turn them on kind of manually. strip this wire really quick, show you, and then I'm gonna bounce. Go. Yeah, buddy. Okay. So the weird thing about RGB is a lot of times, especially if it's RGBW like this, the black wire is the power wire. And all the colors are grounds. So let's hook this thing up. I'll shut off the lights after I turn it on, and then I'll make a couple different little moves. Haha, I love that. So we got the green wire is red, right? Red wire is green. Don't trust those wire colors. They're lying to you. So that is pretty damn bright. Looks really good. It's gonna fit with the sequential strip underneath, and that's it. So I hope that was a decent enough tutorial of just kind of walking you through as I did some of the grind. But yeah, if you guys got any questions, let me show you a couple different little angles and stuff like this, so you can kind of see, you know, it's very dependent on what angle those things are hitting you at. Alright, that's what we do when we combine blue and green, and when we got green and red we get yellow, and then all of the colors together give us this white-ish look, and then actually hooking up the white gives us a legit white. So if we go white and green and red and blue, that's RGBW with the red, green, and blue hooked up. This is all of the colors. Light is weird when it all combines together. Instead of it making like a soupy mess of color, it just turns white. Just a whole bunch of stuff. That's where you get the rainbow. Boom! That's that. My boys, I'm gonna look at you for just a second here on my way out the door. But I hope that did a good job at showing you stuff. I swear that freaking door, I always lock it because it sounds freaking crazy when people are out there. I think they're coming in to get me. All right. So you guys are very welcome. One more question for Psych Design says, is butyl the only sealer you should use on headlights? If you have an option, yeah, that's all that you should use. There's very rarely should you do things like using like the Permatex sealant. That's okay, but I mean, it takes 24 hours to set up. The butyl is just like, you heat it up, squish it together, boom, bolt it on a car and wash that car in 15 minutes and you're good to go. So that's what I say. All right, so I'm gonna go back through since I'm leaving this one up. I will catch you guys very soon. I'll update some of the stuff on here and tag it up, but let me know what you thought about this. If you will, go through, give me a like on this video, not in the chat, but, you know, hop over on the video and leave a comment. I want everybody to start commenting. I said this earlier. If you want to get a hold of me and you're sending me messages on Instagram or emails, or you're calling and getting through to Kristen or whatever, if you want to get answers the fastest, leave them in a video closest related to whatever the topic is that you're curious about. Just comment on that video. I try hardcore to hop into my comments and answer all of them. So I want the answers for you to be able to be seen by other people, so that if they have the same question, they get my answer. It's serving more than just one. That's the wife. She's like, shut up, sir. Get out of here. I'm going to push the streaming button to kill it, and I'll see you guys next time.